Hey, what's up, man? Oh, I have not been on in a minute. Am I in the right live? Hold on. I might be on the wrong live. Let's see. Hold on. I kind of switched it at the last minute. I hope nobody's in there. No? That was everyone. Sorry, it's been a couple weeks. I was really sick last week and I had to travel for work. I was really sick. So, yeah. That was everyone. Why do I think that the orange piggy wants to talk to Mondavi? Thank you. He wants to be an alpha male. That's all this is. It's all a game for his toxic masculinity base. He doesn't do anything that doesn't stroke his little fragile ego. Yes, I'm going to refer to him as the orange piggy. That's it, every day. The only way you can stand up to a bully is to insult them. Yes, it's immature. It's not what I would prefer, but that's just the reality of it. Hey, my friends, sorry. You have to stand up to a bully. Hey, Eli, and I don't understand why the Democrats absolutely suck at pushing back on him. I just don't understand. They're either unwilling or unable to fight back, and it frustrates me to no end. I grew up with the bully. You have to insult them. You have to push back on them. Hey, Dialogue, how are you? Yeah, I usually come on every day, but I was traveling for work all this week, and then last week I was super, super sick. Really sick. I didn't even work. Yeah, Newsom's doing well. I think J.D. Pritzker's doing well. I'm doing better, thank you. AOC, Slotkin finally found a backbone. But there's not enough of them. Like, literally, the orange piggy he's literally threatening the life of congressmen because they said, don't disregard disregard unlawful orders. Yeah. And Mike Johnson's walking around with his head up a piggy's ass. Yes, Daddy. What can I say, Daddy? Yes, Daddy. I mean, that's what they do. There's no bottom. There is no level of immorality. They're not going to care if he's on the Epstein list. My thoughts on Swalwell running for governor. I don't like Swalwell. I think he's part of the political system that is broken. And I don't know if I can play. Let me see if I can play it. I don't know if I can. Hold on. Hold on. I'm still trying to figure out. Let me see. Where is it? Where are you at, Eric? Let me see if I can play this. Hold on. I don't know if I can play it on my desktop. Do you share audio? I could only. I could only play the audio through a tab. But basically, when I interviewed Eric Swalwell, he said that the only way that the Democrats would work on a general strike is if it helped register voters and help the Democrats win. Now, frankly, I don't give a damn if he wins. He said that he would only do as much as his daddy Hakeem Jeffries would allow him to do it. He's a He's a Democratic simp. He just is, my friends. I hate to say it. Let me see if I can find my Zoom really quick. I mean, Eric Swalwell didn't have a presidential run. I'm kind of surprised. The one thing I don't know, I believe if he's running for governor, he has to leave his position in November. I believe he has to. That's the same thing that happened with Swalwell. Does anybody know if that's true? Because I don't think he could stay the congressman even if he doesn't win for governor's race, but I don't know that. Let's see here. Oh, that's my wife's account. Hold on. I had to move my computer around because I was traveling. All right, that should work. I would be running in Eric's spot. He's my congressman. I'm in CA 14. And the Contra Costa district next to me is some 80-year-old dinosaur. Let me see if I can find it. Hold on. Okay. Well, it's easier said than done. I think I have until March to put my name in there. There's only one person that's up there. Well, Derek, what I'm asking is, does he have to leave even if he doesn't win? Because Katie Porter had to not run for re-election. What I don't know is, well, he's not up for re-election until next November, which is when the election is. So if he doesn't win, but then he's not running for Congress. That's the problem. He's not actually running for Congress. So I don't think he can run for 2 seats at once. Can he run for Congress and governorship? I don't think so. I have to research that. I actually don't know. But how could his name be on 2 ballots at once? I don't think he can run for Congress and the governorship. That's why Porter had to drop out, because she couldn't run for Senate and governor. For Senate and Congress. Hold on a second here. Which means that's an open spot. This is what I think is going to happen. He's going to pick somebody that's a Democratic establishment and push him in there and put, I think he has about $500,000 in his piggy bank. My thoughts on who? Ronaldo? I don't know who that is. Is that a soccer? I'm sorry. I think that's a soccer guy. I don't care about policy. If Ronaldo is willing to shake the hands of a man that is a rapist, then I don't care. I don't care how rich you are. I don't care if you're the best soccer player that God ever made. I don't care. Because if the piggy had sexually assaulted Cristiano Ronaldo's mom, I guarantee you that he would never meet with him. And the fact that he doesn't care tells me what kind of person he is. Because he's not willing to stand up for women. It's disgusting. I wouldn't go. I don't care who he is. I don't care if it was Jesus in there. I wouldn't care. If you're okay treating women that way, like Pat McAfee, then I don't have any need for you. I don't. Yeah, I hate that we're expected to follow protocol. Yeah, I agree, Maya, and that's why I don't like the bro podcasts. There was an ad playing on a live? Really? There shouldn't be anything on here. I don't know how that works. I'm thinking about it. If Eric runs, I actually am seriously considering doing that. Let me see if I still have. I want to see if I have the video. Oh, geez. When did I interview him? That was a long time ago. Previous. I don't know. Huh. Webinars? Hold on, sorry. Recordings? Here it is. Well, let me find the section with Swalwell, sorry. Yeah, I don't understand what the white supremacist MAGA party is in it for. Is it power? I mean, we have a president that's telling women to stay quiet, piggy. Where were the other reporters defending her? I don't give a damn about your damn job. I don't care about decorum. Where was your outrage? Where are the Democrats today? Because I haven't seen Hakeem Jeffries. He should be livid. They should all be protesting today in front of the White House. Impeach this motherfucker. Serious. It's that simple. Kick his ass out. And we're not going to do anything until you remove him. That's what they should be doing. John Fetterman said that Zoran wasn't a Democrat because John Fetterman is a Republican. He just is. He's an utter clown. He's a joke. He has no balls. He's a absolute clown. Oh, let me find this interview. 1 second. By the way. Here it is. I found it. Okay, hold on. I found a tab. I'm going to share this. I'm going to play this clip from Swallow. This is why I don't like him. These are his words, not mine. Hold on. Is that right? No. Here it is. Sorry, it took me a second to get it.
But I wanted to like lead to something. I wanted to, again, I don't want it to just be for the sake of protest. And maybe that's, no, I want to win. Like that's it. If we don't win, we don't have the ability to stop what he's doing.
So what would you think the next step is?
So if we don't reverse, I know you got to go, just running a little late. I appreciate your time here. If we don't reverse Citizens United and we continue to have rich people pumping money in there and people in Congress getting dark money, if we don't give people living wage.
And then 17 million people are going to be off of Medicaid. We got people kidnapping people on streets. This is the only option that we have as a people right now, because the Supreme Court is essentially a political arm of the executive branch. That's what it seems like. It's gone off the rails. I don't even trust him anymore.
Right.
But we're being asked to contribute in society and pay our taxes and be part of this social contract. But the government's saying, well, screw you guys. I'm going to do whatever I want. I'm going to go golfing and I'm going to go to UFC fights and I'm going to have Tesla dealerships on the front lawn. And
that worked though, right? The Tesla protests and people selling their Tesla stock and not renewing their Tesla leases, that worked. It got his ass.
See, here's my problem with that statement. Eric Swalwell didn't do a damn thing. That was you and I making a big stink about it. That's my problem with that statement. He didn't do a damn thing. Just like the Democrats didn't win the New York City mayor's race. But they're taking victory laps. That's my problem with the Democrats.
Step is
that if this, I guess just so I'm clear, and I'll let you go because I know you've gone over. I apologize about that. So as far as this goes, do you think other people of Congress would be on board with this?
I think you're going to find my colleagues, like they want to know, like what.
Now, I want you to watch his body language, okay? I want you to watch his body language. Watch his eyes, how he's looking around the screen. This is my question about a general strike. This is why I have a problem with places like Midas Touch and Lincoln Project. They don't push back on congressmen because they want to interview them for likes and views. So listen to his answer and watch his language.
I know you've gone over. I apologize about that. So as far as this goes, do you think other people of Congress would be on board with this?
I think you're going to find my colleagues, like they want to know, like what does this do to help us win? Not like just acts of demonstration, which are important, but like, as I said, does this river connect to the larger body of water, which is winning the midterms, stopping these inhumane policies? So if it's a general strike that like has a goal of like registering X amount of people to vote and getting X amount of people to pledge, to engage in the midterms, like I think that aligns more with like where we're focused right now. Like shutting things down for the sake of shutting it down, I don't think that
That's my problem right there. Does that seem like somebody that wants to fight? Or is he more interested in getting Democrats elected? That's my problem with Swalwell and the Democrats in general. He's more concerned about the midterms, not November, December, January, February, March, April, May, June, July. He's not even thinking about that. Earlier in our conversation, he talked about the 4 legs of democracy, how one is gone, and after this conversation, the second one is gone. But he's still not going to do a general strike because that's too demonstrative. We have a president that is asking for the death penalty for sitting members of the Senate, who's torn down the East Wing, who's holding parties with his rich, white, snobby friends, who's basically a pedophile, and an entire party's protecting him. The economy is tanking. But a general strike is too demonstrative. This is my problem with the politicians in general. And he's just another example. He is. And do you remember a month or two ago when they had the Charlie Kirk vote for the National Day of Remembrance, which is on my birthday? He didn't even fucking vote. And I called his office and I asked him, why didn't he say no? They never got back to me. He's part of the problem. Just because he says a lot of crazy things and swears and makes these little clips called train takes doesn't mean he's doing the right thing. I don't listen to people what they say. I listen to what they do. And Swalwell's just a little simp for Hakeem Jeffries. It's a shame. It's a real shame. I like the guy, but he's not willing to do what's necessary. He's going to tote the Democratic line and say the Democratic talking points and talk about Democrats and Joe Biden and Harris and Democrats, while democracy is literally burning. He's not going to say, you know what? I would love to run for governor, but right now I need to be in Congress to push back against what's happening. That's exactly what he's doing. It's a joke. So I don't know who's going to run in the 47th district. I'm going to see. Yeah, I mean, we're literally in a dictatorship right now. I mean, this is really like it's. Yeah, I mean, we're there. In Canada, we have a notwithstanding clause that we can suspend our Canadian rights for both the federal and provincial government can invoke it. Yeah, Derek, and I think that's where this is headed. I said this back earlier in the year. I believe that he wants to invoke the Insurrection Act and then ultimately martial law. He is going to try to, and it goes with the Epstein Files. He wants to be God. And I think that's part of the reason that Mike Johnson, that white nationalist, listened to his piggy and closed the government down for 6 or 8 weeks. He wanted Piggy to have full control of the government. That was it. He essentially turned over the power of the purse to him. He tore down the East Wing. He gave $40 billion to Argentina with no approval. He's bombing boats in international waters with no evidence. Nothing. We don't know what happened to them. They could have been fishermen, and many of them likely are. And nobody's saying anything. Now he's threatening the lives of senators. They're saying nothing. January 6th, 5 officers died. They're not saying anything. He rapes women. They don't say anything. He's a pedophile. I mean, I don't understand what universe we're living in here. When did morality become just subjective, not important? When do we just ignore the rule of law? I mean, when do we just elect a felon? I mean, it's just insane. Congress and yeah, I don't think. Yeah, I don't know if he can run for Congress. Can he run for Congress? Can you run for Congress and governor at the same time? Let's see. California. It says a public officer shall not simultaneously hold two public offices that are incompatible. Offices are incompatible unless simultaneous holding for that particular office is compelled or expressly authorized by law. It doesn't say you can't run for them. I don't know the answer to that. But here would be the problem. If he ran for Congress, let's say he ran Congress, because he probably won if no one challenged him, and then he won for the governorship, what would happen? Does he just advocate? I mean, I don't see how that would work, because he would have to give one of them up. And that's not fair to the voters. They should have one candidate. And as far as I know, there's only one candidate. People are afraid, and it's sad. It is sad. It's really sad, which is why I started doing this. It's truly, truly sad that this is where we are. And I was just hoping that the Democrats would be the opposition party, and they're not. They're utterly pathetic and spineless. They are truly just MIA, and it's really, really, really frustrating that that party has sucked so bad. All 50 voted for Rubio. Cory Booker voted for a convicted felon, Charles Kushner, who is a friend of Trump. 14 senators voted for the crypto bill. 10 voted to censure Al Green. 134 said we're not going to impeach Trump because it's not politically beneficial. Hakeem Jeffries didn't even endorse Mondavi until after 2 months, and it was half-assed. He never, even the day that he won, Hakeem Jeffries didn't even congratulate New York City. He congratulated everybody else except for Mamdani. Yeah. EK, I'm working on that right now. I don't know if I want my own party. We need it. The problem is people are stuck in tribalism. Even seeing everything that's going on, there's too many people that are still going to vote for the lesser of two evils. That is not true democracy. People aren't angry enough yet. They're not willing to be uncomfortable. That's why we're here. Look at the No Kings protest. Out of 330 million people, a whopping 7 million people. I thought people were upset. Why were only 7 million people out there? 75 million people voted for Harris. That's barely 10%. It's about 9%. That's it. After everything that's happening, 10% of Harris voters. That's all we got. And what's happened since then? Nothing. What are we going to do? Protest in February? Yeah, that'll show them. People are still going to go out on vacation. They're going to go shopping for Black Friday. People are not willing to be uncomfortable. And that's just a sad reality. And we're just going to keep sleepwalking into fascism until there's nothing left. Until they haven't even released the October numbers yet, right? For the jobs. They canceled the release of the job report. Yeah, they're just going to cancel it. Nothing to see here. Let's see. Yeah, I honestly don't believe the jobs report. I think it's a bunch of bullshit. I mean, he's hired people. He's hired Simpson to go in there. Unemployment rate is up to 4.4%, which is the highest since 2021, which is basically COVID. Yeah, I don't trust anything coming from this government right now. Literally nothing. I think the number will be bigger. The jobs report is probably bad. Oh, I'm sure it's awful. Well, all I'm saying is the No Kings protest was good. It's not even close to being enough. I mean, we got U.S. citizens being racially profiled. And people are just going to lunch, watching movies, going back to work. I got white women on my page. Oh, Cindy, traffic's really bad at high school. Oh, Cindy, it's so bad. Her ass wasn't at the protests. Why? I had a soccer game. Oh, I had to see a movie. Like, we can't even get people to protest on a Saturday outside of working hours. But Steve, it doesn't matter. I hear what you're saying. What exactly did No Kings do? Let's just be real. On a Saturday, outside of working hours, 7 million people made signs, slept in, watched morning cartoons, walked around, protested, took pictures, and then went back home and watched Netflix and watched the World Series. What has happened since then? Nothing. What did it do? Nothing. I'm just being real. It didn't move the needle. It made us feel good. It gave us a participation trophy. We felt like we did something. We did. We stood up for democracy. But we aren't willing to stop working, to stop paying federal taxes. We're not even willing to post on Facebook because we're worried about Uncle Fred being pissed off on Thanksgiving. So if the only thing we're willing to do is protest every 4 months on a Saturday, then we're not serious about stopping what's happening. We're just not. We're not serious people because we're not willing to be uncomfortable. And when I look at the great civil rights leaders of this time, the Harriet Tubmans, the Kaepernicks, the Martin Luther Kings, the Douglases, the John Lewises, they were all willing to be uncomfortable. And we can't even protest on a Saturday. I mean, that's just the truth. Yeah, and Steve, I made a post about this morning on my Instagram channel. The racist podcaster was nothing more than a modern day Pharisee. He talked about the blacks taking the whites' jobs. If you're a black pilot, how do I know you're qualified? He asked for the execution of Joe Biden. He said dead Americans was worth the cost of the Second Amendment. He joked about gay people being thrown out of buildings in Gaza. He was a horrible human being. And these people that are pro-life, the party of family values, do not a damn thing after Uvalde, Sandy Hook, January 6th, the Congressman Hortman and her family and her dog, the 7-year-olds in Catholic churches, nothing except thoughts and prayers. Jesus, there's nothing I can do because I will never, ever, 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 ever take away a gun because it's a bridge too far. But somehow a racist podcaster, if a barista at Starbucks doesn't say his name, somehow you're going to break out in white girl tears. It's disgusting. Those people are what's wrong with this country. A person they've never met, they didn't know their name, just because he made them feel good about their white supremacy. That's it. White Jesus. That's all he was. He did not view women the same as men. He viewed white people to be the head. Thank you, Steve. Oh, Steven, I've actually messaged her. Let me see if she responded. Her name was it Kayla? Hold on. What's her name? I'll email her again. Where is she? Her name was, hold on. Oh, here it is. Yeah, it's her. Nikili. I'll follow up with her later. I've tried. We, as content creators, get a lot of messages. Like when I go into my Instagram, I probably have like 100 hidden requests in there, and some of them are trolls. Any idea? I believe that was a judge dialogue. I don't know what happened, to be honest with you. I think that was on the East Coast somewhere. Why you give KLA reaction? They want a reaction to the position today because they want to be famous. I do. I'm trying to figure out what I'm going to do with my channel. I don't know. I really don't like this clickbait crap. I don't like it. I like to report on local stuff, but I also know that those things get millions of likes. I don't want to be that person. I will. Yeah, I know Tom. Oh, I know of Tom Powell. I've talked to Park Rose Permaculture. Her and I are friends. And I talked to Facts Matters. I'm not sure what I want to do with my channel. I don't want to be a clickbait bro. I don't want to be a capitalistic whore. That's not who I am. But I also want to do podcasts. That are KL free. I don't know what KL is. I'm sorry. I don't know what that is. Is it? What's KL? I don't know what that is. I'm sorry, Mario. I don't know what that is. I just, it's weird. Because I hit 100,000 last week, which is cool. I'm going to keep doing what I'm doing. I am going to start doing a podcast on some level. I just don't know what that is. It's so weird. There's this algorithm. Let me see if I can show you guys. Hold on. And I honestly, I don't really like the algorithm stuff. Hold on. Oh, where am I here? Studio. Here it is. Here, I'll show you this. This is what it looks like on the back end. So if you guys don't know how this works, I'll share it with you. I don't think there's any personal information on here. Hold on. So this is how it works. So you see this little thingy here? This is like viewers and stuff. I don't know. I don't like work. I don't know. There's this whole algorithm about when to post stuff, and I honestly don't really care about it. I post my stuff at 7 a.m. and one at 3. And then whatever happens, happens. Honestly, I really don't care. I truly don't. I just like this kind of stuff. Yes, I know. We don't want to look away. Like this kind of stuff, I just look, I'm just watch. This is what I'm talking about. I just don't like this. I think it's bullshit. I really do. Like, I don't like this. I think this is crap. It's all rage bait, and they have the right to do whatever they want. And sometimes, you know what? Talking about actual issues, and here's the difference, okay? And I'm not going to change who I'm going to be. This is, look at it like this. The fire in Lahaina, the fire in LA, the Hurricane Helene, the flood in Houston, okay? That's what this is. What I want to talk about is, why did the fire start? How do we prevent the fires from happening? The fires in LA, did the people get their insurance claims? Now, the downside of that is what? People are attracted to this. They just are. It's going to take some time for us to, I do like the oyster farmer. He's a good dude. I do want to start interviewing people, but I don't want to be this. I just don't. Now, there's going to be some things I want to talk about, but I don't want to be a clickbaiter and just, oh, I got 100,000 views and 200, 300, 400. I don't want to do that because I feel like that's being part of the problem. I do want to interview some Congress people, but this is what I don't want. I believe that both political parties aren't serving the American people. And I don't want to just interview people for the sake of interviewing them. I want to actually address the problem here. Yes, I'm glad Mickey Sherrill won. But I'm stuck in this area where I'm not sure. Like, let's say I interview her. 20,000 other people interview her. I don't know what it solves. Like, I would like to interview that oyster farmer gentleman because he's a good dude. Like, that's the direction I believe that this country is going into. But I don't know if that's what people want. I don't want to just interview congressmen and senators and not push back on them. Like, I really like the, what's it called? Yeah, I am. But Missy, what I would like to do is address the problem with the politicians and the broken system. But I don't know how interviewing the politicians that are part of the broken system that don't see the system as broken, I don't see where the benefit is. Because if they're not willing to if they're not willing to admit that the system's broken, does that make sense, Missy? Or Miss R? I'm sorry. Thank you, Fuddy. Yes, I love California. I've lived here almost my whole life. I lived in Oregon for 5 years and Indiana for just about 2. There's no place like California. It's not perfect, but... And Derek, that's what I want to do. I want to be an independent kind of person that talks about social issues and some local stuff and a little bit of everything. But I don't want to pick sides. I don't want to be a left or rightist. And I don't want to interview people on the right. If you don't see raping women as a red line, I don't want to talk to you. If you don't see January 6th, I don't want to talk to you. If you're okay with him being a pedophile, I don't want to talk to you. I just don't. And I think it's all rage bait. I'm not going to be part of that. I won't do it. We're addicted to it. We just are. My Saturday? I think on Saturday. Here, I'll show you the next one's coming out. So I'm actually talking about that on, where is it? Here it is. Yeah, this one right here. Hold on. Right here. This is on Saturday. Yeah, I love Crockett. I think she's awesome. This is, the algorithm doesn't want you informed. It wants you angry. It's true. The algorithm wants you to be pissed off because what you click on is what they want. It's like drugs. People wouldn't supply drugs if there wasn't a demand for it, right? We smoke cigarettes knowing that they're going to cause lung cancer, but we still do it. Why? Because it makes us feel good. I want to be some kind of a change where we get away from this click and rage bait and this anger. That's what I want to get away from. I don't know what KL is. I'm sorry. You're going to have to tell me. Yeah, and Blasterus, and one of the reasons that I post my videos, and I'll show you, watch right here. Look, you see this? See this little chart? This shows you the time right here when to post. It says the peak time, but I post at 7 a.m. because I don't want to be in all the noise. I want to say, hey, this is when I'm going to post my stuff. Watch it, don't watch it. That's okay. I want to get out of that angry rage baiting stuff. Now, does it mean I get less views? Yeah. But I've always believed what Martin Luther King said, that a true leader is not a searcher of consensus, they're a molder of consensus. And I am not perfect, but I do not want to be a searcher of consensus. I don't want to be just another troll that just goes out there to get likes and views to make a crap ton of money. That is not what I want to do. I want to make a difference. Yeah, I would, Miss R. I can do that. I got to figure out how that works. I got to figure out. I'm trying to find a graphic designer and a web designer. So if anybody knows anybody, I don't really have like a brand per se. Oh, Caroline. Okay. Oh yeah, she's disgusting. Yes, Caroline Levitt is a white nationalist. She buys into the white male patriarchy. There's a special place in hell for her one day. Her and her gold cross and her Trump Bible with her little orange makeup up his piggy's ass. Are you trying to talk about Netanyahu? I've talked about Netanyahu. Netanyahu should be buried under a prison and left to rot. And may he spend time in hell next to Jeffrey Epstein. What he's done to the people of Gaza is disgusting and it is morally reprehensible. And there's not two sides of this. There's not. What? I don't want any innocent people dead, whether it's in Israel or Gaza. What Hamas did was awful. That was 3 years ago to 2,500 people. Horrible. But you don't get to take the high road and murder 20,000 innocent children and say, oh yeah, we're on the right side of history. That's crap. And the reason you don't see Democrats and Republicans is because of AIPAC. And I got a video I'm working on for next week about that. Thank you, Dialogue. It's interesting with analytics. My brain is very OCD or ADD or whatever you want to call it. Hold on, I'll show you. I don't know if I can I see it on here? Oh, wait, not that one. Hold on. It goes in these weird waves. I'll show you. I don't mind showing you guys. I don't care. It's just whatever it is. Let's see. Does it show it? I was going to show you the back end of all these analytics. There's so I don't know. I don't understand all the stuff on the back end. I'm not. I don't understand it all. Let's see. I don't have it up here, but you see, like, views go up, views go down, views go up. It's a whole roller coaster. And where my brain is stuck is I'm a business major and a numbers guy, so I'm very logical. You could make like the best thumbnail, the best video, the best title, and it could still be a dud. And you can put a video out with no description and get like 300,000 views. There's no rhyme or reason to some of this stuff. It's just what it is. Somebody asked about Marjorie. Marjorie Taylor Greene is a grifter. She is a white nationalist. She's a little ahead of the curve. She sees the light at the end of the tunnel. That's all she is. She went and chased it. Oh, I have it somewhere. Hold on. I think I showed you guys this video where she chased down. Hold on. Here, I'll show you. I think I put this out on Monday or something. Here, I'll show you. I'll show you this video with her. Because this is who she is. Now, this is Marjorie Taylor Greene chasing down David Hogg after he lost 14 friends in the Parkland shooting. Hold on. There was one more. Here it is, right here. Hold on. Yeah, the so-called plane that crashed at the Pentagon. I don't give two shits about her. She's a grifter. And what bothers me, once again, it isn't her, because we know that she's a nut. She's a white nationalist. Hey, Lucy, is she goes on The View and they don't ask her about any of this. They don't ask her, hey, Marjorie, why'd you vote for a guy that caused an insurrection? Why'd you vote for a rapist? Why'd you vote for a guy that molests little girls? They didn't ask her a damn thing. That's what bothers me about the journalists today, is they're afraid that she won't come back on their show to make money off of likes and views by asking hard questions. She's a grifter. That's all she is. She knows exactly what she is. She's disgusting. Why am I tired? I'm not tired of people. I'm tired of people not talking about what Benjamin Netanyahu did. You don't lose 25 or 1,500 people in a terrorist attack and then justify murdering 70,000 innocent men, women, and children. How in the hell is that okay? How is that okay? It's not. Because AIPAC gives millions of dollars to congressmen, and they have bought their silence, and they won't speak out against the genocide that's happened in Gaza because they're worried about money. It's money. And I would like to do something on that level. I don't know what it is, but I'm sick and tired of these journalists not calling it out, letting people forget the past. The president is a rapist. He's a felon. Pete Hegseth sexually assaulted a woman, paid her $50,000, had women out of wedlock. Dana White hit his wife. He's a piece of shit too. I don't care. That's the only time he got caught. Yeah, Dana White, Pat McAfee, they're all these bros. They're a bunch of insecure white men fueled with toxic masculinity that are intimidated by strong women. I don't like Bill Clinton either. He cheated on his wife. He's disgusting. I don't care what your party is. Joe Rogan's disgusting too. Joe Rogan voted for an adjudicated rapist. I don't need to know. I don't know Theo Vaughn. I'm sorry. I've heard of him. I don't follow that nut. But that's just the reality. These guys were more interested in making money off of their uneducated white bros. The same thing with the racist podcaster. The same thing with Candace Owens. The same thing with Ben Shapiro. They're all grifters. Ben Gutfield, same thing. Joked about a teacher having sex with a 17-year-old. I'm not kidding you. Let me see if I can find it. Hold on. It's disgusting. It truly is. He's joking about it. Hold on. What the hell's going on here? Sorry. I don't know what's going on with my mouse here. My mouse is acting weird. What's going on? So, yeah, Officer Big Mac. Will you ever consider running for office? I appreciate that, Raider. You know, I will consider it, actually. If Swalwell's really running, I don't believe he can run in 2 offices. I do not believe he can run for Congress and the governorship. What I'm not sure about is he going to put a Democratic establishment in that seat? Because I don't believe that Eric Swalwell would do this without having a plan B. I just don't. What's going on with my... Brian Shapiro debating Riley Gaines. It's a waste of time. Little Miss Mario, you know, Brian can do whatever he wants. This is for me. This is just my opinion because people have asked. I like Brian, and I hosted his show. There was a time when I first watched him that he talked about issues, and I tried to talk to him about issues. What his show was turned into, and he has the right to do it. This is just my opinion. It's clickbait, rage bait bullshit. Get mad, get angry, post a bunch of videos, and make people pissed off and angry so you make money. That's what it is. I'm sorry. It's what it is. And he only wants to interview you if you're rich, if you're famous. Listen to how many times, oh, you got a big following. You got a big following. He wants to be a name brand, and that's okay. That's his right. But Riley Gaines is a loser. She didn't finish first, second, third, fourth, or fifth place. She finished sixth because she sucked. And instead of taking personal responsibility for losing, she blames trans people. The same thing with Jillian Michaels from The Biggest Loser that was named after her. What is the point of talking to somebody like Riley Gaines? The number one cause of death is children. Not tampons in boys' bathrooms, not gay people, not trans people, not immigrants picking your strawberries, fucking guns. Why would I waste my time talking to someone like her? It's ridiculous. It's clickbait. I'm sorry, guys. It is. You watch them. I'm not saying don't watch them, but I have had enough of this rage bait stuff. I don't want to be part of it. Hey, Madalena. But the problem is that we as a society are addicted to rage bait. Look at Lahaina. How many of us have gone back and seen the recovery effort? None. How about the fires in LA? None. Because it's not sexy. It's not breaking news. It's not clickbait. There was a show on Netflix called The Poop Cruise. All of the electricity shut down and the toilets overflowed. And CNN made a decision that they were going to put all of the resources into covering this. Because it's clickbait. It's rage bait. P. Diddy. I don't give a crap about P. Diddy. He does your YouTube videos like you. Oh, Romano Report. I don't know that. I would like to start doing some interviews. I just don't know what it looks like. What would be my congressional platform? I have it on my phone. It's kind of like my I mean, I have a whole list, but I don't know how much you want to go down. Universal health care, raise minimum wage to $50 an hour for tipped workers, $7.50 because it's currently $2.15. Background checks, safe gun storage. If your gun, I know, but this is the list that I made if I decided to run for president. I haven't decided yet what I'm going to do there. Yes, I don't want to be either political party because I think both people are sick of both parties. I would be an independent because I don't want to be beholden to money. I will not take APAC money. I won't take money from corporations. And I'm going to tax the shit out of the rich people. Good. They should be scared. But you have to get the corporations to pay people living wage. This is where I get upset with politicians. If you tax rich people like Walmart, okay? Walmart sends the money to the government. How does that help the employees of Walmart get out of debt? It doesn't. That's the problem. That money has to go from Walmart to their employees, the people that make their money for them, that bust their ass and have families. And that's what nobody talks about. That's the problem. They don't want to live off the government. Very, very few people do. Charge them 35 or 40%. Who cares? Those dudes are like multimillionaires. You got 50 cents. And go look at the outrage from Zoran winning, right? You had the rich people, even Stephanie Rule. Oh, wait, don't tax everybody. Not everybody's a bad rich person. You had 50 Cent crapping the bed. Ooh, wow. There goes New York. Now it's going to hell. The dude's worth $30 million, and he's worried about getting an extra 2% tax. Shut up, 49 cents, you cheap ass. Pay your fair share. You got Mr. Wonderful over there. Oh, no. What will I do? How am I going to get a 6.7 investment on a $50 million building? Oh, no. I'm so sorry that you're worried about where to put your $50 million investment while people can't afford fucking groceries. I'm sorry. Please let me stop and make the world better for you. The guy from FUBU. Well, I don't know how this is going to affect everything, but all the rich people are freaking out because they got to pay an extra 2 or 3%. Yeah, something happened to Michael Rappaport. I don't know what happened to that guy. Listen, and I got family that are part Jewish, but I'm not going to simp for a country that murders 20,000 children. Now, if you're going to justify some terrorists doing that, because what do you call January 6th? So white people shouldn't go to other countries now because thousands of white people committed an act of domestic terrorism on U.S. soil? An insurrection? I mean, that's stupid, right? Michael Rappaport is simping for Israel. He lacks critical thinking. I could say, see, this is the problem with people like Michael Rappaport, especially people that just will simp for Israel no matter what. We send them a crap ton of money. You cannot defend. 70,000 people have died in Gaza. 85% of their country is destroyed over a terrorist attack where 2,500 people died 3 years ago. Yeah, it was bad. But you're going to defend a country that's murdered 20,000 children, hundreds of reporters, blown up hospitals, nurseries, schools, places of work? How do you justify that? How do you justify that? And Michael Rappaport doesn't have critical thinking because he's so angry. He wants to just defend his country. I can love America and criticize it. And for some reason, people are unwilling to criticize Israel. I don't know why. Yeah, we look, here's the reality is we're talking about the Epstein Files, okay? And it should be released, okay? I don't care if my mom's on there. Lock her ass up. See? It's very easy. We got 14 million kids that go to school hungry every day. We got 42 million people. That's over almost 12% of our population that don't have enough food that we have to supplement them. We got 3 people that own half the wealth in this country, as much as 50% of the country. We got 70% of our population that live paycheck to paycheck. You think I give a shit about the Epstein Files? or P. Diddy or the Gulf of Mexico or tampons in bathrooms. We got 45,000 people that die every year from gun violence. And we're worried about transgenders in college sports and tampons in bathrooms. And somehow gay people and Antifa, which is an ideology, not even a group. It's stupid. It's absolutely stupid. Yeah, and Madalena's right. Since we started having this partnership with Israel, which is a business transaction, we're funding genocide. We've sent them, I think it's $250 billion over the last 3 decades or 2 decades. They literally have universal health care because we're paying for it. That's how stupid we are. But we won't criticize them. All right, EK, see you later, Eli. Yeah, 2024. So, redact the file. Yeah, listen, they have no intention of releasing the files. Mike Johnson thought he would play some game and thought it was cute and I thought it was funny to send it to the Senate and they would mix it up and then they would fix it and then they would fix it and they would fix it and they would edit it. This is what's going to happen. Oh, Pam Bondi's opening a new investigation into Democrats. Now, because of an open investigation, we legally can't release the files. That's exactly what's going to happen. Or they're going to retract a bunch of names. Oh, it's national security secrets. They're going to do something stupid and not release it. They have no intention of releasing it. Why would the guy hide it for all these years? And then all of a sudden, the Democrats are Democrats. And then all of a sudden, he wakes up one day and goes, sure, release the files. Just because it's a con. It's gaslighting. Scott Jennings is a white nationalist. He is. And I go back to this every time. Scott Jennings voted for an adjudicated rapist. He voted for a very likely a pedophile, a felon, a man who caused an insurrection, a man who was too much of a coward to serve, who cheats on his wife, who didn't rent to black people, who asked for the execution of 5 black men. That's who Scott Jennings, whose white Jesus believes in. They were not released under Biden because they were not allowed to. There was something there was pending cases that didn't allow it to happen. And even if, let's just say that Joe Biden refused to release them, then screw Joe Biden too. See, it's not hard. That doesn't justify him not releasing them. Well, Biden did do it. Cool. Biden's an idiot too. Why aren't you? Well, Biden. It's just gaslighting. They know he's in there. They don't care. They will say, well, no one's perfect. Oh, Trump was baptizing children. Oh, just because he's on there doesn't mean he did something. Oh, doesn't everybody deserve a second chance? Oh, hey, nobody's perfect anyway. That's exactly what's going to happen. They don't care. They just don't. He is a white man. That's all that matters to them. So, yeah. But if you think that the Epstein Files are going to move them, they're not. Oh, yeah, they're going to redact the hell out of them. It's going to be black line after black line. Don't forget, 2 months ago, they all walked out of the White House with, look, I have the Epstein Files, and they were empty because they're stupid people. Yeah, it's funny how part of this country said Joe Biden had dementia and he was Sleepy Joe, but at the same time, he's also a mastermind behind the Epstein Files. It's amazing, isn't it? He somehow has dementia and falling asleep, and he doesn't even know what country he's in, but at the same time, he's the greatest mastermind in the history of this country. It's amazing. It's the same people that are still waiting for $5,000 Doge checks. They're still waiting for his health care plan, for Mexico to pay for the wall. Still waiting for that war in Ukraine to end in 24 hours. In fact, before I get to office, they just, the goalpost is so far down the road, it's literally like it's in the locker room now. Like they're so dumb. Anyway. All right, my friends. Well, it's good to see you. I'll be back on Monday. I might even come on the weekend. We'll see how much time I have. But sorry I missed the last week and a half. I was really sick and then I had business. So why wasn't Epstein mentioned a lot last year? I don't know the answer to that. I don't think that Joe Biden did a good job of campaigning. I really don't. He just wasn't up for it. He should have left after his first term. Now, that's not why Harris lost, but I put some of that on him. He gave her 107 days to run a campaign. That's bullshit. Sorry, it is. I like Joe Biden, but he did a really bad thing by this country. See, I can criticize both parties. All right, my friends. Bye-bye. Oh, and I was going to tell you guys, I got my, I ordered my plaque today, my 100K plaque. It took me 7 months. It's kind of crazy. So I'm going to make a video. I'm going to open it, and I'll put it on YouTube once I get it. I think it takes about a week to get here. So, all right, bye-bye. I don't know if I can.